Good morning everyone and welcome back to English Lessons with SCL. My name's Ash and I'm going to be taking you through today's session, which is all about letter writing. Now, writing letters is something that we might not do as much as we used to, however it's a really important skill. At the moment, obviously we're in lockdown and we are relying on the great work that the NHS and key workers are doing to keep us safe. So I thought it would be nice to write a letter to an NHS staff member or a key worker that we know and just to thank them for the great work that they're doing. So there are 5 stages of writing a letter. These are: the first one is the date and the heading. This lets the person know when you wrote it and where you're writing from. The greeting allows you to introduce yourself. The body is where you get your key message across. And the closing is how you finish the letter. You then obviously sign it before you send it on. Let's start with the date and the heading. So in the top right hand corner of your page, you're going to need to include your address. This lets the person that you're writing to know where the letter has come from. Then you need to include the date that you've written the letter on. So obviously I work for SCL, and in the top right hand corner I have included SCL's address. Just underneath I've included today's date. And what I'd like you to do is get your piece of paper at home, pause this video and start to write your address and your date, and then you can join back once that's done. So I'm going to pause now. Okay, so hopefully you've now got your address and your date written in the top right hand corner of your page and you're ready to move on to the next part of the letter, which is the greeting. So the way in which you start a letter is really up to you. There are a number of ways you can do it, and it's all really based on how well you know the person that you're writing to. There are more formal ways than others, but the ones we've included in here are slightly informal and more friendly. And the reason we've done that is because obviously we are writing our letters to NHS staff members and key workers that we know, and therefore I've simply gone with to all key workers. Now you can do whatever you wish, it depends on who you're writing to. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video and start with your greeting. Okay, so now you've got your greeting, we can move on starting the letter. And the main body of the letter is the most important part because this is where you're getting across the key message that you're trying to convey. Now we've broken the body of the letter down into 5 sections. The first one's really simple. All you've got to do is introduce yourself. You can see there that I've said that my name is Ash and I work for SCL. Following on from that, you need to explain why you are writing to them. So what I have said is that I wanted to write to say a huge thank you for all the hard work that you've been doing for people. You can write this in your own words, but ultimately what you want to do is sum up the entire letter in the first sentence. This way people know exactly why they've received the letter and what you're trying to tell them. The next section we've included is how they've affected us. So for me, I've said that everything that you're doing is helping me feel safe, and it's helping me feel protected, and I'm really grateful for it. So you again use your own words, but just sum up exactly how these key workers or these NHS staff members have affected you personally. Now the next section is what have we done to help? So I personally have been helping by getting some grocery deliveries sorted out for some of my neighbours who can't get out so easily. Now, I'm sure you guys have been doing similar things, so all you need to do is just explain to the key worker or the NHS staff member that you're writing to what you're doing to help in this situation. Now, the next section is just a bit of encouragement, and that is a really nice way just to finish off the letter. So I've included the fact that whilst we know it's a tough job that the guys are doing, it's important that they keep up the great work and that they're doing us all proud, really. So again, use your own words and finish off the letter in your own way. Now, I'm going to give you some time to carry on your letter. You've already got your introduction. I want you to fill out the main body of your letter now. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll join you once you've done that. Okay, so hopefully now your letter's really starting to take shape and you can see that you've got the bulk of the work done. Now there are a couple of things we have to do before it's ready to send off. So firstly, we need to close the letter down. Now the end of the letter is similar to the start. There's a number of different ways that you can finish it, and it all depends on how well you know the person that you're writing to. Now what we've included here are some more slightly informal and friendly ways of finishing it, from best wishes, thank you. You can see that personally I've gone for best wishes. Now the situation that we're in and we're writing a letter to care workers and key workers to thank them for their hard work, I wanted it to be as friendly as possible, and that's why I've used that. You can see in there we've included sincerely. There are other ways you can close letters, such as yours faithfully. And these are more formal ways that you might use in other situations, such as writing to apply for a job or on behalf of a business. And the final thing you need to do before you send your letter is to sign it. So once you've written your closing line and you finish your letter, you then need to sign it with firstly your signature, and then you need to print your name. So you need to write your name, your full name underneath the signature. So what I'm going to do is I'll pause the video and I'll let you finish off your letter before we move on to how to send it. Okay guys, so we're nearly there. We've got our letter written, and the next thing we need to do is make sure it gets to where we want it to go. So that brings us on to sending the letter. So what you're going to need to start with is an envelope, and I'm sure an adult can help you find one of these. And once you've got it, you fold your letter up and you pop it in the envelope. Now in the top right hand corner is the stamp. So once you've got your stamp, you need to attach it to the top right. This lets the postman or postwoman know that it's been paid for and it's ready to be sent. The next thing you're going to need to do is include the name and the address. So right in the middle of the envelope, you need to start with the name of the person that you're sending it to. Now on mine, I put 2 key workers because I'm sending it to a few. However, you might have a specific name or family member that you're sending this to, and you just need to write it there. Just underneath is where you include their address. The address has to be written in a specific way. You start with the house number or building number and then the road name. So as you can see for SCL, we're on number 7 at Lakeside Business Park and we're on Swan Lane. Now the next thing you want to include is the town name. So find out what that is and include it underneath. And then finally, you need to include the postcode. The postcode allows the postman or woman find the area that this needs to go to. So make sure that that's included on the bottom and it will get to the right place. And once you've done that, it's ready to send, and hopefully in the coming days the letter that you've written will be arriving with the person that you're sending it to, and it will be able to brighten their day and let them know exactly how much we're thinking of them and how much we appreciate their hard work at this time. Now I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it's given you some great skills to write a letter, and hopefully you guys will be able to join us tomorrow for the next session. Alright, thank you, bye bye.